And we're going straight to live.
And we are back
Okay.
with another episode of In Brotherly Love. And let me tell y'all something. You better hold on to your horses. Okay? You better hold on to your horses. You better get you something good to drink, something nice that's going to help you relax. Because we come here, we're going to snatch your soul tonight.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we're going to talk about something tonight. We're going to talk about something that many people don't know much about. It's an article floating around. I was trying to read it before we started the show, but I didn't get a chance to finish it. But hey, a couple of weeks ago, some of y'all may have remembered that we had Doc on the phone, Dr. Loucresie on the phone, and she was telling us about the polyamorous lifestyle. And I was so intrigued by it because I didn't really know what it was. But we're going to talk about it tonight, and she brought in Brittany. And I don't know if Brittany is a part of the polyamorous lifestyle, but she'll let us know. But she's here to co-pilot and help us shepherd this conversation as we bring it to you. My name is Jay Wendell Gordon. I'm the warrior lawyer. I'm a dad, HBCU grad from Morgan State University, the baddest, the boldest, and you know this. And I'm from the DMV. I got my kings with me. Who got next?
I got next, just coming at you real quick while I'm transitioning from one place to the next. But this is Jeff Gordon, HBCU grad. I'm a dad, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm a father. And these two kings we have here. Oh, and I'm from Hampton University, the standard of excellence. So and I'm with these two. You know what? See? All right, Howard.
What's going on, folks?
We're going to save all the time for this conversation.
You see they making it short tonight. What's going on, folks? It's the baby of the bunch. Jason, that's the voice, Gordon. I'm an HBCU grad. I'm a graduate of the best HBCU known to man, always in the top 2, and we ain't number 2. None other than the home of your MVP, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. None other than the Mecca, Howard University. I'm going to go ahead and get out the way. I'm an HBCU grad. I'm a father. I am a son. I am an uncle. And I am a brother to these two gentlemen right here. Jay Wendell, go on ahead and taxi this plane on out because you ready.
Nah, I want Loucresie to introduce herself, then Brittany. Brittany ain't got her last name on. We're going to find out who you are, Brittany.
So I'm Loucresie. I'm actually an adult and child psychiatrist. I'm a mom, daughter, sister, all of those things. Entrepreneur. Unfortunately, I'm a PWI grad, but I did graduate from a college, so it is what it is.
Hey.
And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, at least you didn't go to Howard. Brittany, what's up, baby?
Let the hate flow through.
Hey guys, I am Brittany. I'm an informatics analyst. I am a daughter, sister, cousin, granddaughter, and I'm here.
What kind of analyst?
An informatics analyst.
Informatic?
Yes, informatics. I teach computer software in the hospitals and clinics.
Okay, all right. Well, we ain't talking about computer software tonight. We talking about hardware.
Okay.
Talk about the components that make up. And I just want to start. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the polyamorous lifestyle. And many of you y'all just think it's some freak shit, right? Because I know that's what you think, because that's what I thought. But it is much deeper than that, according to all the literature that I've read, which is next to none. But I've heard from some very credible people that it's much deeper than that. So we have these two lovely ladies who engage in, well, Brittany, do you engage in a polyamorous lifestyle?
I do.
Okay, so we have these two lovely ladies who engage in a polyamorous lifestyle. And I want to start out with this one big question that I know everybody has on their mind with regard to the polyamorous lifestyle. And the question is this. I know your parents didn't raise you to do shit like this, did they?
No.
I grew up Pentecostal. I still consider myself Pentecostal, but obviously,
oh, you're gonna lose that. You probably lose that by now.
Stop, but go ahead, Creasy.
Polycostal. That's what you are now.
Oh Lord.
But go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry.
I'm saying I wasn't raised. I guess I actually just I have a wide variety of friends. Like I always have, to be somebody who grew up like evangelical in the South. Like I've always just had friends that are all over the spectrum with anything. So I just had a lot of friends, or not a lot. I had a good number of friends that were polyamorous. And I just really liked the honesty and kind of forced communication you have to have in those kind of relationships, or if they're going to be healthy, which is really what you need in any relationship. But I really just like that openness, that communication. And I just didn't necessarily believe that you only have to love one person. So I, decided to try it out. So I've had
Wow.
some good and some bad experiences, but
Hey, Jay
just like
Wendell,
in monogamy, I did.
So, so
but let's before we even get there, right?
Right.
Let's define what polyamory is, because we don't. You want to clear up those misconceptions,
Right.
because like Jay Wendell, I read the article, uh, so and he's probably reading it now. I'm gonna give him credit because lawyers do that. You see what I'm saying? And
On the
so
fly, they come
so
across like they
hey, you know what I'm saying? So what is the polyamorous lifestyle? Let's discuss
So
that.
I think the biggest thing for me, and I'll let Brittany answer for her, but I think the biggest thing for me that differentiates it from other like ethical non-monogamous lifestyles is that it's relationship oriented. So it's like love oriented, commitment oriented. I've had relationships with somebody that was asexual, so there was no sexual component, but we had a romantic relationship. Obviously I have relationships with people that have a sexual component, but it's not, I don't do like, I personally have to have a connection. So I don't do swinging. I don't do like, oh, you could be emotionally monogamous with me, but I don't care if you have sex with that person. Like I need an actual relationship. So that's really what differentiates from like swinging or an open relationship or whatever is out there, is it's more relationship oriented.
Brittany, what say you? You heard what Loucresie said. Do you agree with her 100%, or you just like to get down with it?
I agree
See what
with her
happens when that
100%.
man get that Chardonnay in his system. Now you
Ain't
see
no
yourself.
telling.
I
Oh,
agree
Lord.
with her 100%. I feel like a poly relationship is a relationship between three people. Like of
throuple.
honesty. Yeah, a throuple. Not just sex wise, the actual commitment to all three.
So, so the days of women taking whatever cock is in stock is out of the question now. Y'all just
Yo,
y'all can have. So is it only 3, or is it more than 3? Like, can you have
So
as many
I
as you
don't
can
really date
afford?
couples. So it really people could, just kind of do however they manage it. I don't really date couples unless it happens organically. Like I'm not really into like you're dating me, so you have to date my husband or you have to date my wife. Like I don't like that. I have dated a couple before that. It kind of developed organically where I started dating the wife, and then me and the husband were interested in each other, and that kind of worked out. But I just really just kind of seek relationships. So like right now, I actually only have one partner because I'm actually picky. But my partner's married, and I think he has like 2 other girlfriends. But but I've only met his wife once. Like we went out to lunch once, and then we talked, or not even really talked, but said hey on the phone once, just to make sure everything was on the up and up, and he wasn't just cheating, because I don't do cheating. The whole point is to be honest. But so like I'm not in a relationship with his wife. I'm just in a relationship with him.
Brittany,
Yeah.
who you in a relationship with?
No one.
But wait, you can't call yourself practicing the polyamorous lifestyle if you don't even have a uno-amorous somebody.
That's an incorrect statement. Just because you prefer something doesn't mean you can't associate with it.
Checkmate.
So that's not a true statement. So I prefer the poly relationship, but everybody isn't ready for that, and they don't have communication. They have communication errors and all kinds of stuff. So until somebody actually can apply themselves to the situation, I'm going to stay single.
So you appreciate and respect the polyamorous lifestyle, and
I do.
You are open to it, but you keep receiving the error 404 messages, so you can't.
Yeah,
it can't.
Yeah, it's always that red flag.
Yeah.
So look,
it's really hard a lot of time for people that are already a couple, like married or been together a long time, that are opening up. It's really hard for them because they really, a lot of times the mistakes people run into is they really try to protect that first relationship. And so the person coming in is like not as important, don't have any decision-making power. Like, who would sign up for that? Like, would you sign up to be in a relationship where you had no say-so? And you really have to understand that you're forming a whole new relationship. Like, you're not adding somebody to an existing relationship. You're forming a whole new dynamic for a throuple. There's many different kind of dynamics, but that dynamic specifically is the most popular and also the hardest to do, to be honest.
Actually, there was a term that I read in the article that was sent to me just to give me some background. That would be called a hierarchical relationship.
Yeah.
See, your boy Reed. Come on now. Your boy Reed.
So check this out. So this reminds me of what we see and hear about in some African nations, perhaps, where the man has multiple wives. Would that be considered a polyamorous relationship?
No, it's under the umbrella of ethical non-monogamy, but polygamy specifically means marriage. So polyandry is when you have more than one husband. So like women having more than one husband, and polygamy, I think, is more than one wife, and both of those are polygamy. So they're under the non-monogamous umbrella, but it's not polyamory, because polyamory is more just about relationships as you see fit. Like, it doesn't have to be like one man married to multiple women or one woman married to multiple men. It's just however you want to put together your relationship.
So these are actual relationships between people. Like, you guys are sitting around. Are you individually in a relationship, or is everyone incorporated in the relationship?
So,
like, are you all dating each other at the same time, or is it like you go out with somebody one week and you go out with somebody the next week, or you go out with someone one day and you go out with someone else the next day?
No, we all go out together.
Well, in the article I read, there's several different dynamics. So what you're looking at, Jeff, in terms of people dating each person separately, that correct me if I'm wrong, Loucresie, because like I said, I took the time to read. That would be called a V.
Right.
Trying to understand.
Right. So technically, I guess I'm kind of in a V relationship. So I'm dating somebody, or I guess it's not technically a V because he has more than two people, but I'm dating somebody. He's married, and then he has a girlfriend, and then he has like a friend with benefits. And then I guess me and him, really, we haven't been dating that long, so we hadn't like defined it. But he's I've only met his wife. I've only spoken to his wife. I don't even know these other people. So it's more like parallel. Like, we're not all getting together at the kitchen table. But some people do that. Like, there are relationships where they call it kitchen table poly. Like, even if you're not romantically dating them, like, they just want everybody to kind of still get to know each other and at least be involved in that way. Or you could have what's called parallel poly, which is what I'm doing right now. Is I don't really know anything about his other relationships. But I've actually dated a couple before, twice. One was a horrible experience, horrible. One was actually a fine experience. And the only reason we broke up is because they're not out, and I just refused to be like a secret. I'm not going to be anybody's little secret. But the relationship itself was fine. Like, it was healthy, it was good. I'm just not going to be anybody's secret.
So let's go into that experience. Like, describe that experience that you said was an excellent experience. Like, what is an excellent polyamorous experience? So
me and my ex-girlfriend started talking. Like I said, we had a really good relationship. I met her husband actually separately first. He was traveling for work and was somewhere close to where I was. And she was like, y'all meet up, get to know each other, whatever, like, y'all do whatever. So I met her husband first, we connected. So then when I started to actually, like, when me and her got to the point that we were visiting each other's houses, I would visit him. I would say me and her were like, definitely, we were in love. Me and him were more kind of like friends with benefits. Like, we definitely cared about each other, but it wasn't as deep a relationship as me and hers. And that worked for all three of us. Like, it was good. Like I said, the only reason it ended is because it was a secret, but it wasn't really a very well kept secret. And so I was getting like all these looks and stuff from her family. And I'm like, y'all not going to invite me to your home and then have me looking crazy. So like I said, it was really outside forces, because I'm just not good. I don't do good with secrets. But the relationship itself was great. It was fine.
So you was going to the family cookout?
That was she was his girlfriend. Yeah.
So I want to hear about Brittany, because Brittany,
I was at their house a lot.
I want to hear about Brittany's
flying in and out a lot.
Oh, you was getting flued out.
You was getting flued in and out.
Hey, so Brittany, how do you cultivate this polyamorous relationship? Are there online communities? Like, how do you just by chance catch that or find that needle in the haystack where you have people who are who are part of that lifestyle? How do you find each other?
I'm not a part of any community. It just happened. And I'm very open-minded about certain things. So I met this I knew her husband already. We went to school together, and then I met the wife, and we just clicked, and we just had a relationship. The only reason we are not together is because I moved in a different state. So, and I don't do long distance relationships.
Damn. So y'all pull-out game is pretty strong, is what I'm hearing. You pulled out because you felt like you ain't gonna be no secret. You pulled out because like I ain't even in the same state no more. So look,
we still have occasions where we date, like on my birthday, holidays. We all come around each other. So it's not official.
Birthday maintenance.
Yeah, you got to get your maintenance here and there, but so it's not official anymore. But we still keep in contact.
So it sounds to me that even though y'all talk about the intimacy involved in relationship, y'all can pull out, like you can cut it off just as easy as you cut it on. Is that true?
My breakup was actually really, really, really hard. It was an awful experience, an awful time for me. But I was saying, but the relationship was good. The breakup was bad, but for me personally, I mean, y'all, I've only been on here twice, but I'm sure you know that I'm just gonna be who I am. Like I can't do the whole secret thing. Like I'm just not into that. And I just didn't think it was fair to me to ask me to do that when you're the one who asked me into this relationship, but it was hard. Like I was in love with my girlfriend. I still love her. If she ever decided she wanted to like be open about who she is, I will get back together with her. But we're friends, but I'm just not going to be anybody's secret. Like I'm just not doing that. So I wouldn't say it's easy, just like I'm just in and out, but I just have to have boundaries for myself, and I have to love myself the most.
All right, so I got a question online. I got a question online that says, how do y'all make love?
I'm sorry.
Together.
How do y'all make love? Like, do you take turns? Do you stand in line, or do everybody jump in and call a huddle? I mean, how does it work out?
Together.
So for me, when I was dating a couple, like I'm currently not dating a couple. So obviously my partner, it's just me and him when it's just me and him, because that's the only people in our relationship. When I was dating a couple, it wasn't any set rules. Like sometime with just one, sometime with both. Like it wasn't like every time we had, because I do know there's some couples like every time you have sex, all three people got to be there. It wasn't like that. I couldn't do anything like that. Like you have to be able to just like flow and be realistic.
Yeah.
So
the room ain't gonna be smelling. So you ain't gonna have a room smelling like hot dog water when you walk in that joint, huh?
I don't even understand what's going on.
Like what is going? Jay Wendell. I'm gonna have to exercise that mute button soon, brother.
Yeah, we want to know, man.
But
we ain't know what you're talking about right now.
You going like right now? Your ADHD kicking.
No. I'm so glad that we can have an open discussion and laugh about it. You know what I mean? And just try to have fun with it, because quite frankly, that's the best way to understand. I don't want to be too serious about it, and I do take it. I know it's a serious subject, but in order to get the questions answered, it's got to be some humor to it, because this is I don't understand it, but I respect people who have their feelings about their own personal sexuality and how they want to conduct their own lives, and that's cool. But this is not complete. This is not really sexual, though, is it? It's mainly it's about a part of it, right?
Sex can be a part of it, but like
I had a relationship that was romantic. My partner, and we actually, so I have a friend, we've been friends for years, and she is asexual, so she doesn't really do sex. And we decided to try a relationship, and honestly, we just worked better as friends. But in that relationship, I mean, it was a romantic relationship, but it wasn't sexual. But I felt free to do that, because that was at the time that I actually was with my girlfriend. I felt free to do that because I didn't have to get everything from one relationship. Like I can have this romantic relationship with you and not have to worry about I can't ever have sex again when I like to have sex. Like just because you ain't sexual, I'm not. So I feel like polyamory gave me that freedom. Like I could have that romantic relationship without sex, but I could have a romantic relationship with sex too.
But Loucresie, is that a relationship or y'all just friends? I mean,
no,
good
it was a
girlfriends.
relationship. It was a difference. We are definitely better as friends. We're friends now, but no, you can have a romantic relationship without sex.
So Doc, since I know you're a psychiatrist, correct?
Can we go back before?
Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on, Jeff. So Doc, you're a psychiatrist. I got you, Jeff. Just hold a pen right there. The thing about it is mental. Like, you know, I guess you could say I'm like the mental health advocate over here. How does that? What are the effects that can have on a person's mental health?
I think polyamory, just like monogamy, can be a disaster. A lot of predators use polyamory as a way to pry on people, just like they do, you know, oh, I'm polyamorous. I want, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 girlfriends, but I'm not really communicating to anybody. I mean, it obviously can be a disaster. I think any unhealthy relationship can be a disaster. But if it's a healthy relationship, there's no like certain mental effects specifically to polyamory that will have an effect on you. It's really just people, like if you're in a healthy relationship or not.
Okay. All right, Jeff, go on ahead, brother.
Okay, so now you saying you can have you say she was asexual, the person was? So you had this relationship without having sex. So and you were able to, you said you were able to be in this relationship because you were actually getting the sex from somewhere else. So were you really?
I'm not asexual.
With this person? Right. So why would you be in a relationship with someone who's asexual if you are not asexual? Why go through that?
I guess I don't know what you mean. Why go through it? We were friends. I've had more than friendship feelings for her. She did for me as well. The reason our relationship did not last long, but it had nothing to do with like not having sex or having sex. I think we just both had a lot of trauma at that time that wasn't dealt with, and trying to do that transition from friendship to more just didn't really work well for us at that time. But I mean, you could be romantic with somebody, like just like you could have sex without romance, you can have romance without sex.
So can
you be in a relationship without it?
She was in one. Like she was in one where she was in a relationship where there was no sex. Yes. And one thing that she mentioned earlier while you were transitioning was that open communication was actually a very key component to that. So like she had the one person, and this is me assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. She had one person that was asexual. She knew she was asexual, but Doc let her know, like, look, I'm a sexual person, and I have to be able to get this particular component of my life fulfilled. So I am going to have another amorous relationship with somebody who is fulfilling that need while still loving you.
Yeah, and I mean, I will admit that just from my readings on it, the fact that you
the biggest thing about polyamory is you don't have to get everything from one person. Like I don't have to have one person who fulfills every need. Like, because you know, I just don't. So I can have different people that fulfill different needs.
So Brittany, how do you reconcile that with the concept that you are enough for any man or any woman you want to date? How do you reconcile all of that? Or at least you should be enough.
Should you be?
Yeah, no, because you get different things from different people. Everybody brings their benefits into a situation and what they bring to the table, and depending on the person, it just depends on the dynamics of it. So you can't always please a person a certain way because they require certain things that you might not be capable of. So it just depends.
Okay. So the only difference between polyamory and a cheating spouse is that in polyamorous relationships, they tell you, yeah, I do got all these other girlfriends, and so what? And you either you like it, you take it, or you don't. And cheating spouses, I'm not telling you what's going on. I'm just going to do. Is that how it works?
No, I don't think any relationship should be, hey, I'm doing this, and either you like it or you go somewhere. I mean, every relationship negotiate. You could cheat in polyamory. Like if you're Brittany,
polyamory?
How do you do that?
Man,
You
you didn't read
can.
the article.
Closed triad, right?
You didn't read the article. Read the article.
You can cheat in poly now. You can.
Like Brittany prefers a closed triad, so she prefers like just 3 people, a triad together that's closed, meaning that they don't date anybody else. So if you are in a closed triad and you have agreed to that, and you date somebody outside the triad, that's cheating.
It's a lot of rules. Y'all got a boule or Congress or something?
It just you keep your communication open.
Say what?
If you keep the article I sent, but I was just kidding.
He did.
Go ahead, Brittany.
He did.
If you keep the communication open and everybody's on the same page, you shouldn't have any issues. But that's with monogamy too. So
as I say, we're not working a monogamous relationship. If you, as long as everybody's communicating openly, you shouldn't have a lot of issues, right?
Yeah. Communication and comprehension is the key.
Communication and comprehension.
Comprehension part, that's got to be there.
So do you find it easier to explain these types of relationships to women or to men?
Men.
Okay. And why is
I say men.
The opposite of
I don't know. I just have I feel like a lot of men will say they're ready for a relationship like this, and they'll go and do it. And then once you get in the situation, they become jealous and have insecurities and stuff like that. But when it comes down to a woman, women can just, it's kind of different for me. Like, I've never had an issue with a woman, but I've had issues with men not being able to take the situation. So
that's interesting, because I would think it would be the other way around. Loucresie, what's your take on that?
I actually kind of agree with that. I think one of the differences, I don't want to close anything ever. So I don't want to close triad. So I think a lot of men here, oh, you're bisexual and you're polyamorous, so I'm gonna have all the sets and all the threesomes like every day. I've had sex 3 times in the past 2 years. So obviously it's not a whole lot of sex going on just because you're polyamorous. So I think men hear that and they think like we're just gonna have sex, and like I'm actually very picky. So I read through a lot of people like that. Women just seem to connect better on an emotional level first. In general. I mean, of course, that's not the same for everybody. But so I think I wouldn't say it's easier as far as actually being polyamorous. I don't know that one says it's easier, but as far as somebody understanding that polyamory is more than just sex, I think women are more able to understand that than men who are not out of people who are not polyamorous.
So last time, Loucresie, you mentioned a term called pansexual, that you were pansexual. So if you could kind of explain that to the listening audience, what exactly a pansexual is, and I think that would kind of, I guess you could say, clear up your last statements.
Yeah, so pansexual. So I normally say bisexual because people know what that is, but pansexual is really just, I don't care what sex you are, whether, so cisgender means like you are the sex you were born. So like I'm a cisgender woman. If I was a transgender woman, that would mean I was assigned male at birth, and so I don't care what sex you claim, whether you're cisgender, transgender, male, female, or some people are non-binary. Like, I connect to the person. So I don't really have those boxes. Now, ironically, I actually don't think I've dated anybody that was non-binary, and I haven't dated anybody that was trans yet, but I'm not opposed to either. I just haven't had those things happen.
Not right now, baby. I'm in the show.
So, and Brittany,
wait till I get off the show.
I'm not picking on you, but I want you to be very much involved in this.
Ask Jason if he can make you that.
What is the end game? It's not matrimonies.
Jason can have him use your stool.
And mute yourself.
Right, man.
What is the end game to these types of relationships? How far would you have, or how far would you have them go, so to speak?
As far as they can. I want a close relationship with a male and female, and that's it. I don't want to keep playing with different partners and stuff like that. I just want everything in one triangle.
Does that go to marriage, or is that just a cycle of the 3 of you guys just going through life together?
A cycle. I've been married before. I'm not big on necessarily getting a piece of paper to say we're together. So it just depends on the people. So.
And Doc, what is your end game? Like, what is the end game to these relationships? Obviously, you're relating for, satisfaction of whatever, I want to say needs, for lack of a better word. I don't know what other word to use, but obviously you're in it to get your needs or to satisfy the needs of someone else. But how far does it go, or how far would you take it?
I'm looking for lifelong relationships. I'm looking for lifelong relationships. So again, the person I'm talking to right now is already married, my ex-girlfriend was already married, but me and her discussed doing a, commitment ceremony, although I guess I don't know how we're going to do that when she's not out, but, I'm looking for life partners, not, I'm even open with getting married to somebody. Obviously, you can't legally marry more than one person, but I'm looking for life partners, whether that's marriage, whether that's cohabitating, whether that's kind of life relationships that are not in the same house. I'm not looking for short-term partners.
So this thing extends to living in the same home. And if someone predeceases you, for instance, there's a death in the family, would you be looking for part of an inheritance as well? Like, are you in fully, or are you just in as far as the relationship goes?
You're in fully.
Yeah. I think, so if you're doing those kind of relationships, there's ways around not being able to be legally married. So, there's wills and trust and things like that you can set up to take care of all of your partners.
Certainly.
Because you can't be legally married to more than one person. So, yeah.
Wow. So this is very interesting. And so how do you decide? Oh, strike that. What made
strike that?
How did you? You may have answered this already, but how did you really come around to accepting this? To say this is who I am, and you're talking about it publicly. So that takes a lot of courage there. So when did you decide that, I'm going to embrace this? This is what I do. I don't know, is it who you are, or is it what you do? Like, how does that work out?
I'll let Brittany go first because I talk a lot.
Huh? What'd you say?
Oh, it's who I am and what I do, if that makes sense. I'm a free spirit. I feel like I'm bisexual. I like men and women. So hey, if we can all join together and come on the same path, then we're good.
I heard what you said.
I heard what you said too.
We all heard that. We all heard that. We
heard you talk about coming on the same path.
Right.
Pun intended or not.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead, Loucresie.
Well, I think for me, I think for people in general, some people are monogamous, some people are polyamorous, and then some people really can choose. Like, they can be monogamous for, the right person or whatever. I have no interest in monogamy at all.
Wow. So you just totally turned off by it.
I'm not turned off by it. When I was in monogamy, I've never cheated on anybody when I was in monogamous relationships. I never cheated. Not like I can't do monogamy. I guess I don't see, and since I don't see the point of it, I'm not super interested in it.
So you're like the paragon of morality when it comes to polyamorous life. You don't do all this stuff. You say, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do this, but I do this. So yeah, are you really living your life that perfectly?
Morality, I have to have an emotional connection to people, period, whether it's monogamy, polyamorous. I'm actually jealous of people who don't, because, definitely.
You're jealous of people who what?
Who don't have to have an emotional connection to have sex and enjoy it. But that's not me. And I learned that through trial and error. And so I accepted who I am, and I'm not gonna, why would I do something? To me, I have to have that emotional connection, or I'm not gonna enjoy it. So why would I do something just so the other person can enjoy it? That doesn't make sense.
Brittany, what'd your mother have to say about this?
Ooh.
Mother, that is.
We about to find out in 30 minutes.
That is fine. They know me. I'm very blunt. I'm very open. I've never been ashamed of who I was. So I mean, no respect to anyone in a respectful places, but it's my life. So I have to live it according to make me happy, not anyone else. So that's me.
So secretly, I'm sure there are a lot of people in the listening audience who probably are pretty jealous of you all, that you accepted and embraced this type of candor so that you could live this life of liberty.
It is a life. Yep. That was a good way of putting it.
Great liberty if that's what you're into. Do you all have these situations where these polyamorous relationships that you all have seen involved, let's say, instead of the two women, the two men, and would you accept that type of man into your V or your polyamorous relationship? The binary person and
for men, is that the question?
Yeah, so two men get together, they leaving you just spectate, you just like just looking and just like, you know, playing double dutch, trying to figure out where you getting in.
God, dog thing with a good kind of man.
What you gonna do with that?
but I will date about
they in there sword fighting, and you just trying to like.
Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Oh God.
Like, cause I heard about all this woman to woman stuff, but what you gonna say when that dude bringing another sword? And y'all just said, I'm gonna start with Brittany. I'm gonna ask Brittany because Brittany don't give a shit. So go ahead, Brittany.
I mean, that's actually a good question. So go with it. Go with it. That's a good question. Go with it, Jay.
I've never been in a situation like that. I'm not saying I would never be in a situation like that. I just haven't, so I really can't voice an opinion on it. But oh no, I mean, I will watch. I don't know. I don't know. I will watch. I know that. So
you ain't gonna. Hey, Brittany, you're not gonna jump in the middle of it.
Like break it up.
I
you ain't gonna jump in the middle of it.
Get in on
I might coach and be like, show them a couple of moves, but I don't know. I've never been.
Gonna fall on the sword, Brittany.
On the sword.
I don't know. I think if I ever get in that situation, I have to play it when I get there.
We'll bring it back to that show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Loucresie, what you gonna do if the two brothers start sword fighting right in front of you?
Well, I'm also
to the fact that this is just our relationship and it's okay what they do.
Yeah,
you come home from work, you got a bag of groceries in the car, more groceries. I mean, you got a bag of groceries in your hand, more groceries in the car. They on the couch, on the couch getting it in, and they act like they don't see you.
They on the couch eating glizzies.
They can go back to it after that.
Would you drop your bag of groceries?
Or do you bring in the bag of groceries?
Or do you bring some ketchup and mustard?
I would date somebody that was bisexual.
You bring some buns to the.
Hold on. What Loucresie? What Doc say?
That's true.
Doc, what did you say?
I would date somebody that was bisexual. Yes, I would date a man that was bisexual.
But he's bisexual.
So he's bisexual with another man. You would date him? You would date him?
Bisexual means he's.
Would you be intimate with him? Would he be a part of your intimate experience in the polyamorous relationship? I mean, y'all are in a relationship. How's your day, baby? How you? Good to see you. You doing all right? You want some food? You know, I want some dick. And he goes get this other dude. What you gonna do? See, this thing is complicated. What you gonna do?
To be honest, the guy that I'm dating right now, and I actually don't know this because I've actually never asked him, but I think he's bisexual.
You think?
Told me he was.
He's supposed to tell you this. He's supposed to be open and honest. He's supposed to tell you.
Honestly, and I'm sure he would tell me. I honestly just never asked.
But what if he says, yeah, he is, and he likes you know, maybe he's a bottom as opposed to a top. How would you feel about that?
I don't know what he does in any of his other relationships. Like he doesn't, I mean, not like he doesn't talk about it like it's off limits. Like I know he's currently not in a relationship with a man because I know about all the people he's in a relationship with. But he's 20 years older than me and he's been living this life since he was in his 20s. So I don't know what all the man done been through.
or what's been through him.
Too. So I don't know. He's probably done some everything. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is that there's a difference somewhat as to the members of this who the members of this V are.
Well, Jay Wendell, hold on, let me correct you. If you read the article,
I ain't talking about no damn article.
No. See, the thing is like you say you want to understand it, so you gotta get the literature. So if it's a V, she would be the one having the relationship with the two men, and the two men wouldn't interact with each other. So you're talking about a triad. The triad is they're all working together. Okay.
So it's still the same question.
You gotta let Jason go. He's the pseudo expert for the
No,
he read the article.
Okay, my bad.
I would not be in a closed triad with two guys. I wouldn't mind being in a triad with two guys though.
Two cisgender heterosexual guys, or two bisexual or homosexual guys?
Yeah, with two men that were also involved with each other, but not closed. Like they wouldn't be my only partners.
So, Brittany, would you date two homosexual men?
I don't think homosexual men would want to date a woman.
You just throwing it around.
But it's not about sexuality, right? It's about intimacy, isn't it?
I wouldn't date a homosexuality because I love intimacy and I like sex, so that would be off the table.
Okay, that's fair. Everybody got their preference, and so there you have it. Look, we're just trying to ask the question that people want to know. See all these questions on my list right here? All these questions I got.
Let them flow there. What other
question on here? These my damn questions. No, man, I truly appreciate y'all, and I hope you're not offended by me because it's just a very interesting topic, and I'm sure people want to know about it because I remember when you first told me about it, I really didn't understand it, and then when you put it in terms of relationships, I just thought it was just some way to a pretext to like a cover up for what it really is, just people just letting their sexual desires run free. But as I'm talking to you ladies, I'm finding more and more about how wrong I was, that it's not just three people or more letting their sexual desires run free. These are three or more people involved in a relationship that involves hot butt naked monkey sex. So I appreciate that.
I will say that you definitely have to watch out for, especially people who are new to polyamory or deciding they're going to open. I mean, like with everything else, I definitely see a lot of people. So I am in like polyamorous groups in Facebook groups online. So not necessarily personally, but I definitely see a lot of stuff online that is definitely people that's just wanting have their cake and eat it too or whatever, and it's really more about sex than anything else. But I mean, but you have to look for that in monogamous relationships too. So
but if you have cake, wouldn't you want to eat it?
I know that's a really weird saying. Yes.
So let's talk about domestic violence and that issue. When those issues erupt, because they're relationships and all relationships have these types of issues, how are those things handled? Are they handled in-house, or somebody get pissed off, do you file charges on everybody? Just expose the whole thing? What goes on?
That's one of the reasons I don't, as a rule, like I said, if it happens organically, that's different, but I don't generally date already established couples, both of the people, because I think couples have a hard time. Like, say I'm dating a married couple and me and the guy don't work out, but me and the wife do. I think most married couples will have a hard time allowing, me and the wife to continue dating and he doesn't. So I'm not really about that. If I lose one person, I got to lose everybody thing. So I mean, that's my reason that I don't really date couples unless it happened organically, unless we've had that conversation beforehand. Like, this is not like, you don't get to decide all the rules. So with that being said, I handle problems in a relationship like any other relationship, because I don't believe in having those rules of like, if you can't date me, you can't date none of us. I don't do that. That's like, every relationship is separate.
So now, is there a set of ground rules that are laid out in the beginning of this? Like, does everybody sit down and say, okay, these are the rules. You can date this, you can have sex with this person, but you can't. I mean, is there a set of ground rules laid out for this?
So I say for really what people recommend, and when I say people, I mean like there's books about how to do polyamory. So in a healthy way. What people recommend is you set boundaries. And so boundaries are for you, like what things you're willing to accept, but you can't make rules about other people. So say like my boundary is, say I'm married. So say I'm married and we bring in another woman, and my boundary is that, or let's say we're doing a V. Okay, so say I'm married and my husband is dating somebody else, but I'm not dating them. So my boundary is I won't have unprotected sex with you if you're having unprotected sex with anybody else. So that would be like, I'm controlling what I do. So if you go out and have unprotected sex, you need to let me know because we're not having unprotected sex. But the rule would be like, sir, you can't go have unprotected sex with anybody else. And that doesn't really work because you really can't control what people do, but you can always control what you do. So one of my boundaries is I won't be a secret ever again. So if I start talking to somebody, I ask, are you open? Are you out? Am I going to be a secret? If you're not, if all of those answers are no, then I just stop it then, because there's no point in continuing.
Brittany, what'd you say?
I agree with you. Supposed to set boundaries with any relationship, whether it's poly or monogamous. So that's true.
Y'all steaming up my glasses and shit. I can't get my glasses. Jeez. Keep going.
That was it.
That was it.
Set boundaries in the beginning. That's with anything. That way you won't step on any toes, and you know how far or what limits you can and won't go.
So this sounds like a contractual relationship. This is a bargain.
Well, monogamy is a contractual relationship.
It's a literal contract.
Yeah.
So in this relationship, let's say you're in the relationship, you've been in the relationship for months, and then all of a sudden you find yourself interested in someone else. Do you add them to the relationship? Do you break off that relationship and go start this triad or V with another group of people? I mean, does it continue in that fashion, or do you just continue to add to the polyamorous relationship that you currently have? I'm gonna go, Loucresie. Can you answer that?
So for me, like I said, I don't do closed relationships. So if I wanted to date somebody else, I'm gonna date somebody else. But that doesn't mean they have to be involved with any of the other people I'm dating.
Loucresie, she gangster with it.
She's savage with it. She ain't playing with y'all. Y'all fool around. Y'all
she gangster with it. Like, look.
Hey, Doc was like, my cutoff game is strong. So whatever you want, whatever it is what it is. This ain't that. How about that?
Loucresie, I think Loucresie just don't want to be locked down. You want to be free.
Committed relationships.
Huh? You can call them committed all you want, but you're free to do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. You don't give a you know.
That's true. Like you can't. I don't think that's true. I don't know that I could do what I want to do. I mean, you still have to be respectful to, like, I wouldn't go around just hurting people for the fun of it. But
you'll say, okay, look, hey, look, I'm going to see this other dude. You on notice. See, I'll catch up with you. Brittany, why you laughing? Brittany, why you laughing?
So you on notice.
What's up, Brittany? Why you laughing? I'm trying to figure, we trying to figure.
Brittany probably doing that.
I see this.
Brittany letting them know,
what I learned.
Brittany let them know, like, look, these walls gonna get touched.
No,
I'll be back in a minute, yo.
What I've learned is that not only are polyamorous relationships complicated, but they are extremely savage. Like, y'all be just like, yo, I'm about to do this. I'm honest with you. Look, you be like, I'm honest with you. Like, I got to take care of my desires. It's almost selfish to a certain extent. And I don't want to place any labels on you all, but it's like, I got my own desires. I told you from the start, no lies told, facts. I'm out for a minute.
This was going to happen.
I'll bring them back. I'll bring them back. You know, you accept it or reject it, but this is what I'm doing. And people
in any relationship. So if you're married in a monogamous relationship, or not even married, if you're in a monogamous relationship, you have said that they can't date anybody else outside of you, and if they do, you're out.
I don't think it's as simple as that. From what you've explained, because like you said, you know, if you basically what I understood you to say. And I may have misunderstood you, and that's not unusual, especially when I've been drinking. But what I understood you to say is that you're not going to be tied in or tied down. If you want to do something else, you'll do something else. In addition to, as opposed to instead of, unless they want to opt out.
To a degree. I wouldn't have more partners than I could commit to and actually have time to. So like I could never commit to like 10 people. Like I don't have time for 10. I don't have time for a lot less than that. I don't even have time for 5 people. So I wouldn't like
5 people.
Huh?
Your threshold is 5 people?
Let her finish. I don't
really necessarily know what my threshold is because the most I've ever dated was 2 at a time.
Okay.
But really 1, because 1 was like 1 in a possible like a relationship and then a friend with benefits.
Would you test the limits though? Would you test the limits? You open test the limits, right?
I'm in a relationship. I'm gonna give you the time you need. I'm not just gonna keep adding people and then I talk to you once every 5 months or 6 months. Like I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. But yes, I don't believe in closed relationships.
So Brittany, come on back in here. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you get keys to the house?
I get keys to everything.
Woo! Brittany says she get keys to everything, to the house
Soul
and the
snatcher. Soul snatcher.
So when you come home from work, you got your drawers and everything over their house and everything. Tell her why the dishes ain't clean. Somebody need to wash my laundry.
No, I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
I mean, that's what happens in regular relationships. I'm hungry.
No.
Look, let's go out and get something to eat.
With my ex-girlfriend and her husband, because I traveled back and forth, I actually did leave a lot of clothes and stuff over there, so I would only have to bring like a carry-on because I'm cheap.
Made the flight cheaper.
So I mean, like I said, the relationship itself was fine. It's just the being a secret part that I didn't, that I just didn't think was fair to me. But yeah, we were. I mean, like me and her actually had a bank account together, just more for like our traveling.
Y'all sharing money?
We have a bank account together. We didn't close it.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah, I haven't touched it. She hasn't touched it, but it's still there.
How much money is in it?
Traveling. I mean,
polyamorous minds want to know.
I mean, again, she had been married for a long time before I came into the picture. So obviously there's different levels of enmeshment between her husband and somebody that she has kids with and somebody she's been dating, a year or whatever. But definitely our lives were intertwined. It wasn't just like pop up and like it wasn't, what I call like vacation.
So wait, so you're saying that you're getting flued out on a regular basis? So this is a long distance relationship?
It was. We generally would see each other every other month. Yeah. But the relationship I'm in right now, the guy's only like 2 hours away. So we see each other a little bit more than that.
Okay. That ain't bad. Okay. Hey, Brittany.
Yeah.
Brittany trying to be quiet over there.
I know, I'm gonna make her talk though. Hey,
Brittany giving short answers.
Hey, Brittany.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
Hold up, Brittany. Your polyamorous couple or duo ask you to borrow some money because they a little behind on their mortgage. What happens? Because I see you work in a hospital, you work in healthcare. I know you making good money. They said Brittany got it. So what happens with that?
Well, I have done it. So I gave it to them.
Did you get it back?
Yeah.
And maybe an in-kind donation.
Or did you expect it back? But did you even expect it back because y'all are in this relationship? Like,
I expect it back because it was the male. I'm the woman. So those standpoints still stand.
What happened?
So it was the male. So I give her stuff because she's a woman. But when it comes down to him, I still give gifts. But if you borrow money from me, you gotta give it back.
Damn.
Wait, because it's a relationship.
Huh?
She's supposed to give it back in other kind of like in-kind services or something.
You're gonna give my money back, not services.
Oh, she was about to let that. She about to let some equity.
She started saying, "You gonna give my motherfucking money back."
That's what she was gonna say. That's what she said.
She's like, I gave you money. I want money back.
I want money back.
So those are the complications that people experience in regular relationships.
It is. It's still a regular relationship. You just got more than one person, two people.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Poly is still the same thing. It has the same standpoint as a regular relationship. It's just multiple people.
Yeah, I get that. But in multiple people, you know, pay your mortgage, here goes something. You know, I ain't no resource, but I'll help you out this time. You know, but do you really ask for your money back? You know, in a real relationship, are you gonna really ask for it? You know, that time I gave you $20.
There's a difference between borrowing and asking. So if somebody asks me for some money, then I would give them some. That's in a regular relationship and a poly relationship. But if somebody said, "Let me borrow something," that means you intend to give it back. So I expect you to give it back.
Well said. Well said.
Okay. Yeah.
Well said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So look, man, we're getting close to the end of this. Does anybody have any burning question that we didn't ask? Because we ain't gonna get these ladies. They probably won't ever do our show again. They ain't coming back, man. So,
oh no, we got. Oh no,
they ain't gonna ever mess with us.
Brittany got to come back and update us.
Man, we ain't messing.
I'll come back.
Hey, look,
Brittany got to come update us on that.
One person in our comment section said, "In a real relationship, I never gave a man any money."
I'm with them when they right, but you know, sometimes life happens, so you have to take the good with the bad.
I ain't snitching. It's in the comment section. You can read
that. She ain't never give a man nothing.
That's what she said.
That's our next show. We're gonna have her on next. We're gonna have a conversation.
We're gonna talk about this. Who do the guys go to for help, man? I mean, really?
Yeah, that's why I say it depends on the situation.
That's what she said.
She said, I never.
I want to see if there's more out there like that.
A lot of guys, even though we're talking about polyamory, a lot of guys want to be like polygamous and have all these wives, but they can't even take care of it.
They can't afford it.
Oh, look, my
that sounds like a next show topic. That sounds like a next show shopping. How much does it really cost?
Look, and you know this Brittany phone flew up right after she said this. Like, bitch, they want all this and they can't even handle it. Phone fly up, ceiling fan. You know what I'm saying?
Brittany, she ain't about the bullshit. If she goes to a place, it's always. And what do you do about the wear and tear on your body, though?
I don't have wear and tear on my body.
I mean, if you having relations with two, well, a woman and a man, I don't care what it is. It's wear and tear. It's trauma to the body.
Not necessarily.
He might want it tomorrow. They
It
might
depends
want
it. It depends on your energy. It depends
Brittany
on the person.
She's durable. Durable.
I am. I mean, so.
Damn.
Well, all right.
All right, y'all. So, ladies, it's been wonderful. I enjoyed this conversation. If we don't have any questions, it's probably time to shut this thing down.
Yeah.
Thank the Gordon brothers.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on your show.
We are not a freaks. We are not freaks.
Hey, look.
But we welcome a better understanding of some of these relationships that exist in our society and people who've made them work. Obviously, these relationships work for you all, or you all would not be what's the word? Be championing, for lack of a better word. You all wouldn't support them or be proponents of them. So, and I thank you for the courage that it takes for you all to even come out here and talk about it publicly. And that goes to the fact that you are out. But to me, it says a lot. It speaks a lot to your character that, you know, that you can talk about these things freely and educate even the most silliest of us, such as myself, you know what I mean, with regard to this relationship, and keep your head about you and have fun with it at the same time. I think this was a very educational show in terms of what the subject matter was. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of myself and my brothers. And that's what I have to say.
Well, I had fun. Thank you, guys.
Jeff,
Thank
Jeff,
you,
go ahead. Hold on, ladies. Y'all gotta give closing comments, ladies. Don't run.
Yeah, I'd like to also say thank you. Yeah, we appreciate you coming out and joining us on the Brotherly Love and providing your insight.
No.
And we again, we on the behalf of myself and my brothers, and even Jay Wendell on the Chardonnay, I'm gonna go ahead and take some of that for him and say, look, bro, you know, we really appreciate what you guys doing coming out. And he's true, you know, the fact that you guys are out, it does speak a lot to how you feel about it and the seriousness of it. It's not just something necessarily we joke with, it's a real lifestyle. So once again, we thank you for joining us on In Brotherly Love. I'm gonna turn it over to Jason.
Hey, y'all, ladies, totally appreciate you. Doc, you know, I appreciate you answering the call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You came through one more again. And to all of those of us who are listening, um, it takes a certain level of openness, and it also takes a lot of knowing. It also takes a lot of you knowing who you are as a person, as well as confidence, as Jay Wendell was saying, to be able to handle a polyamorous lifestyle. I just appreciate the fact that you were willing to educate us on the lifestyle. I appreciate the fact that, and most people don't know, she sent out some pre-literature before she came on today that I took the liberty in reading. Uh, and honestly, as you get to know yourselves, like there's never an age limit on how or when you come to know yourself. But it shows that you all have taken the time, you all have invested in yourselves to know exactly what it was that you need to make your life a happy life, because you do only have one. And you all are making the most out of your lives. So, ladies, we're going to hand it off to you all to have closing comments, and then we'll be right back at y'all next week.
And before we close up with y'all, we had one more question. It was on my mind, and somebody brought it up in the chat. How y'all deal with the kids when these relationships are taking place? You know, the coming in, the leaving out, the breakups, the makeups, that type of thing. Real quick.
Kids are young. Whether I was monogamous or not, I don't introduce anybody to my kids until things are serious. My kids did meet my ex-girlfriend. That's the only person they've met so far, because that's the only, relationship that got to that level of seriousness. Well, they met, her husband too, but yeah, I don't introduce my kids to just anybody. If it's somebody that's going to be around a long time, I'm not ashamed of this lifestyle. So I don't think it's something to hide, but I have young kids, so I protect them at all costs. Like, you just can't come around my kids like that.
Brittany?
I don't have kids, but I have talked to some people that had kids, and I don't know. I think it was more when we got serious, but I don't know. Even if I break up with somebody, I still, the kids are like family, so I still give gifts and see them. So it's just different.
Okay. So, Loucresie, we're gonna give you the last word, and then Brittany, Brittany, we want to hear from you, certainly. Okay. So we're gonna close it out.
I don't have anything to say to close it out. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Okay.
When I come on the show, and yeah, I guess just kind of touching back on the family thing. I think a lot of people do have concerns about kids, in relationships, and I think just having the same rules you would for, or that you should, I won't say, because some people bring every girlfriend around their kids, but just kind of having that same rule of just not bringing people around your kids until you're sure they're going to be around a while, and just being honest and open. Kids can understand age appropriate things from young ages, and so I'm open with them about who I am.
And you tell your kids about it? Wow. Okay.
I don't know that I've ever said the word polyamory, because they're like 8. Well, they're 9 and 10. But like, this is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend's husband.
Okay.
When they're older, I guess they could put that together. Or when they're older, I'd probably say that word. But like I said, that's the only person they've ever met, because I don't bring people around my kids unless we've been dating a year or more. Like, there's no reason for you to be around my kids. So. Gotcha. I guess when I have more things to talk to them about it, I will.
No, that's a great answer. I understand that. I think anybody can relate to that. Mm-hmm. So, Brittany, can you leave us with some parting words?
I thank you guys for having me on my show and take my insight on the lifestyle I choose to live.
All right.
There you go.
Well, ladies,
go ahead, Jeff.
Well done, Jiggy. Go close it out. Whoever.
Well, I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us tonight. That'll do it. You know what I mean?
Woo! You ain't
got to worry about me.
So we'll be right back at you next week with another episode of In Brotherly Love. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for our supporters. Thank you. Click, and share this episode, because this is a hot episode. We don't get to talk about this often, so I just really appreciate you ladies, Brittany and Loucresie. I truly do. And that's all I have to say.
That's it.
All right, this is Brotherly Love. We'll be right back at you next week.
All right, thank you. Bye.